I had plans for a DIY project video. Upon initiation, I don't have all the parts and pieces, so I want to start a channel for our farm. And I was going to start it with a how-to, just as an icebreaker, but I can't do that this weekend, so I guess I'm going to start with the obligatory farm tour or barn tour. So I'll caveat this with, it's winter, it's the middle of February in northern Indiana. There's snow, it's really freaking cold. So my barn is a mess. We do tend to keep the barn clean, but like I said, I wasn't planning on doing a barn tour today. I was doing a how-to in the office, which I cleaned for the video. So if I had known I was going to do a barn tour and put it on the internet, I probably would have cleaned everything up and had it all presentable. But anyways, so my wife and I bought a horse boarding facility. We were shopping for a hobby farm, and we were moving out of Florida. We wanted to buy some land, and we wanted to buy a farm, and we couldn't do that in Florida as price of land is much worse there. And we were just looking for 10, 15 acres. We could, do some regenerative agriculture, some permaculture, hobby farm stuff. And we couldn't find anything we loved, and so instead we bought a horse boarding operation. So this is it. And there's Cookie. So we have the main barn to my right. Most of our pastures, we're sitting on 18 acres. 12 of the 18 is divided up into 6 1.5 to 2 acre parcels that we rotate for the horses. This is our horse Belle. She's a pony. So light transition as we walk into the barn here. This is our 12 by 12 aisle. So like I said, 9 12 by 12 stalls in here. I'll show you the stalls that we do use. We have a quarter horse, Mr. Rebel. He stalls in here during the night. This is actually the how-to video I was gonna do. I hate regular slow feed nets, like the ones you tie to the side of a trailer. But we do believe in slow feeding hay because it mimics the metabolic process of slow grazing, which horses are designed to do. They're not like cattle who have 4 stomachs and can just ingest a ton of hay and then regurgitate the cud and chew it up later on at their leisure. Horses are designed to slow graze and metabolize hay slowly. So in an effort to reduce the risk of the risk of what is it called? This is so stupid. Colic. Doggone it.
Johnny, tell him what he's won.
We slow feed hay to reduce the risk of colic. Whatever. So we believe in slow feeding. But, like I said, I hate the slow feed nets. These make it so fast. This is just a gate latch, like for a privacy fence. Throw a flake in there. You got to put a little keeper or a hinge pin of some kind, or when they're pulling the hay out, they'll pull it loose. Above each of our rows, we've got storage for about 1,000 bales of 1,000 small squares per side. So plenty of hay storage. A 24 horse capacity for the farm if we're rotating pastures correctly. It'd be amazing to get to that point. We're not gonna go through 2,000 small squares of hay over the winter. So plenty of hay storage. And that's not even counting the hay storage above the retirement stalls, which I'll show you. So moving into what is, and it's hard to see in the camera, but this would be like a lean-to structure for the original barn. Our boarders keep their stuff in here, tack, saddles, gear. We don't love it. It's not secure. Everybody gets along with everybody else. Like, we only have 7 boarders right now, so future project list is going to be nice tack lockers, you know, with a rolling saddle rack and room for, you know, your tack, your gear, helmet, boots, whatever, and then securable so you can lock it. A breeding stall converted into a tack space. On the other side of the lean-to, a much larger breeding stall, 25 feet deep, and again 14-15 feet across. Is just enormous. And the guy operated the whole barn specifically to breed, foal, and sell Belgian horses. And they're just these enormous horses, so they need these enormous spaces to breed. So I don't really know what we're going to use that stall for. The previous owners used it as a quarantine space. We'll probably do the same thing, but it's just so big. We don't need to. We use our other stalls as quarantine. But it's nice. It's nice because it's isolated. Like, we keep our tools here and junk. Merry Christmas. But it works well as a quarantine stall because of how isolated it is from the rest of the barn. I think under normal operation, a horse will quarantine for 2 weeks in that stall, 24 hours a day, just to, you know, to ensure they're not bringing any diseases with them. So this is what we like to call the retirement wing. Junk here, but this is where we've got our 4 retirement stalls, and you could see more hay storage. And these stalls are 22 feet deep. There's 4 of them. So that loft can accommodate another probably 1,500 bales. There's no reality where we need that much hay storage, but we have it. These stalls, again, they're double walled. I'll come over here and show you. They're built with 2x8 on each side, where, like, our 12x12s, they're only boarded on one side with tongue and groove, inch and a half material. So these things are they're tanks, and again, we believe these were the broodmare stalls for the Belgian operation. So anyways, we haven't figured out a way to market these stalls well yet. This used to be a stall. We're back in the 12x12s, and they converted this stall into sort of the mucking wheelbarrows and blankets and just sort of a general storage space and a pass-through to the retirement wing and the quarantine area. Again, this is a stall space. So like on this side of the aisle, we've got stall, feed room, stall. Here we've got stall, office, stall. So this is our little cluttered, and again, the makings of a DIY video that never came to fruition on the day. But we keep this guy heated just for general comfort and where we can store perishables or items that could be frozen, or hoses, because I don't know if you knew this, in the winter, hoses freeze and then they don't work anymore. And across the aisle, our feed room. We keep these dry erase boards going. Here's our barn. You can sort of see it holistically. The 17-foot stalls, the 9x9s, this is us. I should put a little, like, "You are here" sticker. And the retirement stalls. Pasture pony feeding, and then each stall that's occupied by a horse has feeding instructions. This is a layout of the barns and all of our pastures. All of our pastures and what pastures are open, which ones are closed. Right now, everything's closed because all the horses are in dry lots over winter. And then our feed and hay usage, so we can track our inventory. We feed all Purina Impact feed line, Impact Senior, Impact Pro Performance, and then we feed Enrich Plus as a ration balancer. So we find that with those 3 feeds, that pretty much covers 95% of horses' dietary needs. And then we work directly with the Purdue University, the Purdue Equine field team and the large animal hospital, and they make feeding recommendations for all of our horses. So the docs will come out, they'll look at a horse that just comes to our property, they will make recommendations based on the feed that we're providing and the animal's health, what they should be eating, and that's what we do. So last but not least, these are our 17 footers. I like that they're open on the top. It makes them feel more roomy, and they each have a little window, so that's pretty nice. And the upcharge for these aren't as bad. The 12 by 12s, we charge $450 a month for full care. These guys, we charge $500, $50 more, and you get a much larger stall and the window and the open ceilings. Oh, I don't know. These are my favorite. Zippy and Belle are two horses. And then back to the winter wonderland we're experiencing. So for those who love manure, that's manure.
Paper is the manure!
So, I don't know. It's kind of a quick video. I don't think anybody is really going to care that much about our barn tour. But we are really excited to be here. It's been a bit of an adventure. Like I said, we bought it in the spring of 2024. It is now February of 2025, so it's been several months. I wanted to start a channel right after we got here, but obviously you move from Florida to Indiana and start a new job and take on a whole new business with your wife and family and 4 kids, and the last thing on your mind is starting a YouTube channel. So hopefully as time goes on, the cleanliness of the videos, comedic timing, substance, and overall quality improves. But for now, we're hoping for a once weekly upload to just share our progress as we learn the business, learn the horses, and grow. We will also, of course, part of those uploads will be of our homestead, because we have a whole second barn, and maybe that's what my next video will be. Next weekend, you can expect a nice video touring our other barn that has our steer, our dairy goats, chickens, ducks, pigs, shop, dogs. Yeah, I'll show you that next time. All right, that's the barn. This is the place. 10 Oaks Ranch is the channel. And thanks for tuning in.